Hello everyone, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat. You know, I got to thinking, for a guy that has spent his entire lifetime in the outdoors, I've got to travel all over the world. I've been to Israel, I've been to Africa, I've been to England, I've been just all over. I've been all over South America, Never been to Spain, but I've been to Oklahoma. I have seen some of the most beautiful scenery in the world. I mean, absolutely some of the most beautiful scenery in the world. Some of it so remote that nobody hardly gets to see that scenery except me. Some of it in areas where obviously tourists go see it all the time. But in all of that, I am doing way too many videos in hospital parking lots. I just apologize for that. I'm doing too many videos in hospital parking lots. But the great thing is, we're about to get down to the last one in a hospital parking lot, I believe, because we have a tentative goal. They have a discharge date, discharge date of May 21, which is less than 2 weeks away. It's actually 2 weeks from this past Friday, and this is Sunday, so that would be 12 days. I told Chris 12 more days. So she said, when can I go home? And I said, 12 more days, baby. 12 more days, you're going to be able to go home. And she is just making little bitty tiny increments right now, but everybody that, you know, the help comes and goes here, the RNs, the LPNs, the doctors, all of the, you know, got a couple different doctors working with her, and they might not see, some of them might not see her over the weekend or might not see her for 2 or 3 or 4 days while they're off during the middle of the week, and they come in and say, oh my gosh, it's a different girl. And she is improving. She is coming a long way, but the right arm, still she can't use the right leg. Her left arm is really good. She's eating fantastically. She's not getting choked. She's not really sucking quite enough air into her lungs. And I'll probably do another update maybe Tuesday night. But she's not quite sucking enough air up into her lungs, and they're concerned about her getting pneumonia. A little bit of congestion in there. She's not coughing. But other than that, she's doing great. And if we can keep her from getting that pneumonia, everything's just going to go wonderfully, and she's going to start getting that arm back and getting that leg back, and it's just that she's working hard. I'm so proud of her because she's doing so good. I love her so much, and she's just doing so good. My week this past week wasn't all that exciting. Obviously, I basically spent all the time up here in the hospital between Sherry and I. Somebody's with her there 24/7. I come up and stay 2 or 3 days. Sherry will come up and stay a day or two. Here's what I did this past week. I did go fishing one evening. I put the boat in the water about 6:45 in the evening, and went out and fished till about 8:15, 8:30, whatever time it got dark. I didn't even really look at the clock, but I guess it got dark about 8:15 or 8:30. And it was just a beautiful evening. I had a great time. I caught 4 fish. That's all, 4 fish. And the biggest one was like 2.5 pounds, you know, and one of them was not even a pound. I mean, well, probably a pound. That's probably what. So I caught 4 fish. That's all I caught. I did hook up one good fish, and I hadn't retied in a long time on my tube. I caught him on a tube, and my line broke. I broke my line. And I think I had that one on a little Lucky Strike worm that broke my line. But my line broke. And the fish, it wasn't big enough to break the line, but he was pulling pretty good, and my line broke. It was just I hadn't retied in a long time. You got to retie those baits. Remember, if you get hung up, retie every time. If you caught 2 or 3 fish, tie up. Even if you fished for an hour or so and you hadn't did anything, retie. Retying is very important. And I didn't do it, and that's when I get broke off most of the time. I had on like 17 or 20 pound test line, so there's just no way the line would have broken. But I hadn't retied in a long time, and that's what happened. He pulled real hard. He got me against some brush down there and just broke it. Could have got cut a little bit on that brush too. I don't know. But anyway, that's the only really good fish I had on. That's the only time I got to fish this week. Now, this coming week, will I get to fish any? Probably not. But I might. You never can tell. I got a lot of stuff to do at the ranch, and I'm not going to be there very long. Apache's just doing so much. He's solid gold to us. He's just been doing so much down there. And we had some catastrophes down there this week. Friday morning, I went back Thursday night, and so Friday morning I decided I'd been up here 2 or 3 days and decided I'd go back and get on a mower and mow a little bit in between our house and my partner's house. It's got a nice valley, goes down through there. Y'all seen it on a million videos. And it's really rough mowing, and there's some rocks in there, and there's some stuff in there. And Apache's, he doesn't like to mow that area. He's afraid to mow that area because he's afraid he'll tear something up. Me, I don't care if I tear anything up. If I tear it up, Apache will fix it. All I got to do is buy the parts. So I don't worry about tearing things up. So I decided I'd get up early in the morning on Friday morning and mow until about 2 o'clock where I could get in, you know, maybe 8 hours or so of mowing. And I could get pretty much all of that done, and because it's a good hard full day to mow it, you know, and so I could get it all mowed or get most of it done in about 8 hours, and so I did. And so I got up. I didn't bother taking a shower or anything because I'm going to get real dusty out there. That John Deere mower is a good mower, It's really held up good. It's tough and everything, but it will drown you in dust. It gets the dirtiest thing. Rough riding. It's rough riding and it's dirty. But other than that, it's a good mower. I wouldn't, but boy, I'm telling you, you get dirty. So, I mowed, and I mowed till about 2 o'clock, and I got ready to go in and turn the water on. No water. No water. Isn't that something? We got a 130-acre lake out there with a couple billion gallons of water in it at least, and we have no water. So we kind of run the traps on that just a little bit, and could not get it fixed. I talked to Apache last night, and he pulled the pump up out of the lake, cleaned it up real good. He changed the pressure switch on it. He changed that to a different one. He checked all of everything, and I mean, we still have no water. So here I was. I had 2 or 3 days shaving without shaving. I had covered in dust and dirt, and I went and come up here anyway. But I did take a shower this morning. So you notice this? You see this right here? No whiskers on there. No whiskers on there. I'm shaving it all off. I told Chris, I said, I'm going to go take a shower. I said, she said, where's your clothes? I said, well, I didn't bring any extra clothes. She said, well, Jimmy Houston. That was scolding me right there. That's it, So but I didn't bring any clothes. So, I cleaned up, but I put dirty clothes back on. I did have an extra shirt. I had a Shell Rotella shirt. So I got two T-shirts. That's a lot of clothes for me to have 2 T-shirts. But anyway, so we got that little catastrophe, and I'm heading back down to the ranch right now. I'll stay down there maybe, I don't know, I might stay till Tuesday or something. I don't really know. But I'm going to try to get that water to work tomorrow. I think Aaron's going to come down, Steve Wells' son, Aaron. He's like Jamie. He can fix about anything. And I think he's going to come down, and we're going to try to get that figured out and get that done. So I probably will not get to fish any this week, but you never know. I mean, if I can find 2 or 3 hours to slip away and go out there and fish, I'm going to, because sometimes you can do that and catch 15 or 20 bass. The other day I didn't, only caught 4, but sometimes, usually I do a lot better than that. We got a big cold front in here in Oklahoma right now. This is the time of the year when we're having some cold fronts that are really a little bit worse than they ought to be here in the middle of May. But we got a great fishing trip planned here sometime pretty soon. We did hear back from both the winners that won the trip on Jimmy Houston Outdoors fishing trips there at the ranch. One of them was a lady, and the lady's going to bring her granddaughter. I actually met her at a church fish fry, is what she informed me of. So it's going to be great. Isn't that great? She's going to bring her granddaughter. And the other one, I think, contacted Sherry like yesterday or something. So we've got both of those trips lined up. They're going to be just great trips. Probably going to do them maybe about the first week in June or something like that. We got a real heavy schedule, and hopefully we get Chris back home toward the end of this month. And we got a big crawfish boil planned around Memorial Day, and I'll have my buddies up there from Louisiana, and we're going to have a great week that week. And hopefully Chris has really progressed a lot further. But even if she hasn't, everybody just anxious to see her and get her out there, and everybody be wanting to take care of her. She might, when she gets well, she might just act like she's sick, so people will take care of her. She's liking the fact I'm brushing her black hair. She's got this long black hair, so pretty, and I'm brushing her black hair. I don't know how to do that, but I brush her hair, and I cut her food up for her when we go down there and eat. She's eating everything, hamburgers. Had a pork roast today, and she ate it. And she's eating really, really, really good. So she's progressing really. This is 5 weeks. It'll be 5 weeks tomorrow, and so I'll see what happens the next couple of days. If there's anything to report on, I'll report on it. If not, probably might not be till next Saturday. I don't know, but anyway, what the other thing I want to mention this week before I jump off of here is that we are starting a brand new feature, and we're going to run them on Thursday nights and see how they work. If they're popular and a lot of you enjoy watching them, we're going to run it all the way through till this fall. That's right, this fall. And we're going to introduce you to some deer. We're going to introduce you to some bucks, some big bucks. Now, you already know one of them. You know Whitey. And we're going to introduce you to his twin brother, which his name is Bazooka. And we're going to introduce you to another buck that his name is Cyclops. And we're going to introduce you to another buck that's a 300-pound buck, and his name is Bubba. And we're going to tell you the stories of those deer, and they are just now starting to grow their antlers. Jimmy said antlers and not horns. But they're just now starting to grow their antlers. And so what we decided we'd do, because it's going to be very interesting, these bucks are all going to be pretty good size. I will probably, maybe show you Whitey's sheds and show you Bazooka's sheds, the brothers. And they're up in the 180 plus class, both of them, and that was their first horns. The other deer, Bubba, the other deer is going to be a high 200 perhaps. Bubba could be a 300 perhaps, but there's some problems that may not let that happen. So we're going to watch that throughout the year, and we're going to do a video and visit those deer every single Thursday. Now, Bazooka, or not Bazooka, but Cyclops. Now, you got to realize, I don't call these deers the name, I get them confused out there sometimes. I get to talking to one and thinking he's the other, and they look at me like, Jimmy, that's not my name. Jimmy, it's not my name. And I get Bazooka and Cyclops confused. I really do. But Cyclops, I've been working with him a little bit, and I got him to eat some apple out of my hands this week. And I got him to lick my fingers. That's right, lick my fingers. He ate a little bit of apple. He wouldn't eat the whole thing. And I finally cut it up and left it out there, and he ate it all. But Cyclops it's got the possibility of being a really, really big deer. And his horns are just now starting to grow. They're in velvet. We're going to watch them as they grow from little up to really, 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 really big. I mean, really, really big, with lots of stickers up here on them. And we're gonna watch them in velvet. They'll be huge. We'll watch them, and we've got poles so they can they'll be rubbing the velvet off. We'll go through the rubbing the velvet season off and get clear into the season. And depending on how many people we have watching, if it's worthwhile for us to go ahead and shoot this video, and it won't take a lot of time to shoot the video, but if y'all like it, y'all enjoy it, we'll do it. We'll just make that a regular Thursday feature, and then we'll have the Lucy's Herd feature on a Friday, which will be a lot. It'll be a neat deal too. But this deal with the bucks will probably be a lot more interesting to you hunters. To be honest with you, it'll be interesting to everybody because these antlers are amazing. They start from nothing and they grow huge, 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 and then they shed them. They get rid of them in the fall, after the rut. Well, they don't get rid of them until springtime, but they go through the fall, and they got these great big beautiful antlers, and then they get rid of them in usually February or March, and then they grow back, and they grow back bigger. It's just like, it's an amazing miracle of God that happens. And so if we get several thousand of y'all that enjoy watching that, we'll continue to do that, and we'll carry it all through the summer, and it'll be very, very interesting. Now, I want to put a little caveat out here because just so you'll know, it's very difficult to keep these big bucks alive in 100-degree Oklahoma summers. It's very difficult. So those 4 big bucks we're going to look at, we may lose 1 or 2. I mean, it's very, very, very possible. I'm praying and hoping that we don't, but it is possible. So if you got kind of a squeamish heart, you might, that could happen. And sometimes they get hung up in the fence and get their horns hung up and get stressed out fighting, trying to get loose because they have huge horns. Or they will have huge horns. They don't have now. We're going to do the first video this Thursday. I shot that video already, and we're going to put it on this coming Thursday night. Those of you that are hunters, or those of you that think some of your friends might like to watch deer antlers grow through the growing season, call all your friends, have them get on that channel and subscribe to that channel, and it's just a regular Jimmy Houston Outdoor channel is what it's on. Not the Catch of the Day channel, but if you're not on the Catch of the Day channel, go in there and subscribe to that channel now. We got over 16,000 people on that channel, 16,000 on that now, and that channel is just a little over 2 years old. We started in April a couple of years ago. We started April, maybe April last year. So it's just a little over a year old. April last year when we started that. And the Jimmy Houston Outdoor channel was started February 2019. Right. All right. I can't. No, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But subscribe to that Jimmy Houston Catch of the Day channel. It's absolutely free. But if you've got hunting buddies that really like to deer hunt and are impressed with how antlers and watch them grow and stuff, they will really get a kick out of this. If you're a hunter, you're going to really dig this. And if you're not a hunter, you're going to dig it too because it's pretty interesting. It is one of the miracles. It's one of the miracles of nature. It's one of the miracles of the animal kingdom. How horns grow and they don't lose them. That's the difference between horns and antlers. But antlers grow and they get big, and they could be like 300 score. That's 300 inches of horns, and they fall off. They drop them off and they start all over again. Next year they build bigger ones. That is the most incredible, amazing thing when that happens. And so we're going to follow those 4 deer, and hopefully we're able to follow all 4 of them through the spring growing season into the summer. It'll be July or August when they get, probably July, when they get the maximum big out, and they got all this velvet on them, and they're huge looking. Now when they rub all the velvet off, they're not quite as large, but these deer are going to be big. If we can get these deer all through the summer, and I doctor them, we take real good care of them. I give them shots if they get a cold or something gets wrong with them, and we put humeric acid down on the ground. We do a lot of things to really try to keep these deer, but you will enjoy that particular new segment that we're getting started. You will enjoy that particular segment, and So, call all your friends, let all your buddies know if they like to hunt or they just like to, watch those antlers grow. It's going to be an amazing, amazing feature, I believe. And it'll be a rather short feature because we'll just visit all 4 deer every Thursday, or probably visit them maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday and have that on a Thursday night video. And the first one will be this coming Thursday night. I've already done it. It's pretty interesting. That's the one where I finally, for the first time, got Cyclops to lick my fingers. And I got him to eat. I fed some apple out of his hand later now. But I'm going to be working with him as we go on through the year. And I'll take him some treats down there during the week, and pretty soon I'm going to get Cyclops. Now when these horns get bigger, I don't know, he may get a little spookier, but he's becoming a really friendly deer, and I love him. I'm telling you, I love them all, you know that, but he's really becoming real friendly. Okay, I want to end this thing right here. We got, like I said, we're going to probably take those fishermen. We got a crawfish boil coming up the end of the month here. We get Chris coming home the end of the month. It's going to be a great, as bad as April was with Chris having that stroke on April 5, and like I said, we're 5 weeks into it now, and she's recovered greatly. She's recovered because of your prayers and God's grace. Your prayers and God's grace. And we have got hundreds of cards. Sherry brings a big stack up every time she comes up. Y'all have just been so loyal and so loving. I'm just overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by the love. When they start talking about all the evil in Oklahoma, or in the United States, I don't know if we got any evil in Oklahoma, but all the evil areas in America, there's a lot of good. There's way more good than there are evil. The evil just gets all of the publicity, yeah. But the good is the people that are praying for Chris, the people that are sending cards and letters, or sending gifts and gift cards and making Afghans and all kinds of things. That's not knitting up a little Afghan terrorist either. When I'm saying making an Afghan, but when they're doing all of that, that's just pure love when people do that. And Chris, they brought up 2 or 3 gifts that people handmade, spent probably, I don't know how long it takes to do that, but several days I would think, to do something like that. And they're just it's just amazing the love that's out there and what people are doing to just show their love and appreciation for what we do and what Chris does with the deer family. The deer family obviously brings a lot of joy and love into our hearts, and it brings a lot of joy and love into other people's hearts as well. I just want to end this thing by just reminding everybody, and I've said this before, and I'll probably just get in one of my crusades about it, is if you've got high blood pressure, and if you're feeling a little bad and you don't know if you got high blood pressure or not, go get that blood pressure checked. You could actually go down and buy a machine at Walmart, I think, and check your blood pressure. But if you have any hints or indications you have high blood pressure, it runs in your family or whatever, get it checked. And if you have high blood pressure, take those pills. Take that medicine. Take them every single day. Because I was talking to Chris about it today, and we're having a hard time keeping her blood pressure down. It's up, in the 140s and 150s on the top number a lot. We've had it down around 128, but we keep, messing with that. The biggest deal we're worrying about right now is pneumonia. But that blood pressure, we don't want that up there. We want it down low, and we want to keep it down low. So if you're taking blood pressure meds, boy, I've got religious on mine. I don't take any meds other than that blood pressure, and I take a little meloxicam for my joints to keep the pains, from all my fishing and setting the hook, and my knees and all that. And that little bit of meloxicam does that. I take one of those. Men's ageless male or something. Yeah, because I'm an ageless male. That's right. I might have knocked those off since Chris hadn't been home in a while. Lord, I apologize for saying that. But I do that, and then I take a little bit of potassium. I take a little potassium pill. But those are over-the-counter pills. That ageless male and Max, and that potassium is over-the-counter deal. And the only 2 prescriptions is those 2. But let me tell you, that high blood pressure, if you are on high blood pressure meds, make sure you take that thing every single day, because most of the people that have strokes is because of high blood pressure. Some have them because of blood clots, but blood clots cause a lot of different things. But those of you that are sending those nasty letters in, like getting the vaccine caused Chris to have this, I can't even believe you would do that. I mean, that's just harboring a lot of hate in your heart when you send me a note asking about that. But she did not get that from a blood clot. She got that from a high blood pressure, and that's why I'm just saying, I might be on a crusade the rest of my life. If you have high blood pressure, if you have high blood pressure, take that medication. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great week. The fish are biting just about everywhere. I talked to my buddy Brad Stout up in Indiana, and they're biting good up there, but he said it's pouring down rain. He said he can fish in the parking lot just about, fish in the ditch in front of his house. But the fish are biting just about everywhere. It's a great time to go fishing. There's still crappie on the beds in a lot of places around the country as you move further north. They're in all stages of the spawns in the United States right now. Largemouth, smallmouth, crappie, bluegill are starting to spawn everywhere. Catfish are beginning to spawn in a lot of places in the south. Fishing is great. Go fishing, have fun. Guys and girls, when you get up in the morning, you just look in the mirror and say, I'm going to have a great day today, and you go have it. You go have a great day. It's all in your mind how your day's going to be tomorrow. Don't let them steal your joy. Don't let anyone take your happiness away from you. Guys and girls, have you a great one out there today, and remember, I sure do love you. Remember those big horns on Thursday. I love you.